As you can see, some of our participants are here. There will be a few more. So, participants, please join me in welcoming your resource person today, a very busy person on the campus, Professor Arman Rasool Faridi. He's the chairperson of the Department of Computer Science, and he has been there for more than several decades in teaching, research, as well as somebody very active in administration and in co-curricular. So Professor Faridi has been rendering services in the university in his capacity as one of the key members of, presently he is one of the key members of the proctoral team. He has also been one of the key members of the teen students welfare team, and he has a huge fan base amongst the students, as he is a former president of the drama club AMU. And when he speaks, you will see his diction, his baritone, and the impact it has, his voice and delivery. uh, and I think by this, a topic as technical and as mechanical as ICT, and especially, as you can see, he's going to speak to you about the role of AI in teaching and in the implementation of the FIUP. I'm sure Professor Faridi is going to make it very interesting for us. So, ICT being one of the integral themes of these 8 themes in the syllabus of the NEP orientation sensitization programs, and also being one of the inevitable aspects of the career of an academic in a higher education. Here we are sitting and interacting with each other from our remote locations. We had not imagined, we had not dreamt of it even 5 years back, that our teaching learning is going to be re-envisioned in this manner. So with the re-envisioning of the classrooms in the 21st century, here we are uh, with online delivery and with online teaching. And I'm sure Professor Sajid Jamal has taken care of all your ICT-based teaching needs. And today we are looking forward to artificial intelligence and machine learning. Here to stay, here to change a lot uh, in the job market, in the labor market. And then why should academia be an exception? It can make our delivery more effective. It can leverage our output. I don't know much, but I'm completely convinced about its applicability and about its effectiveness. So, Professor Faridi, being the chairperson of this very busy department, because it's a very sought after department, hundreds and thousands of students, so many courses, so many classes. Plus, recently, they have been through a very, very massive exercise of developing 31 MOOCs from the various disciplines and areas of the Aligarh Muslim University, with 31 and more teams of 31 and more faculty members. And they did it with a team of the IIT Madras, Chennai, and they had a collaboration with NEPTEL. So they deserve heavy, heartfelt congratulations. It was a Herculean marathon task. They were working up to late night, and it was teamwork, of course, but teamwork, the ripple effects of which were shown all over the campus. And we wish that they are shown on MOOCs also. So, participants, I won't keep you any longer from you and him, from being benefited from him. So, many thanks, Professor Faridi, for your presence, and all the best to everyone for a very fruitful discussion and a very mutually beneficial interaction here. Thank you so much. It's over to Professor Arman Rasool Faridi.
Professor ma'am, thank you very much for this introduction. You have always been very generous while you introduce us, and thank you so very much for your all good words that you used for us and for the department, definitely. And under your leadership as a director of I still call it UGC HRDC, but now it is Malviya Mission Teacher
Yes.
Training Program, college, yeah, program, whatever it is. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to interact with many colleagues from all over India. I think majority, since it's an orientation course, so majority of you are from diverse background, if I am not wrong.
Yes, multidisciplinary.
Multidisciplinary, right?
100%. Yes.
So while I spoke to Dr. Mohammed Shakir, he asked me to speak on any relevant topic. So, as you just mentioned about MOOCs, so for MOOCs, e-content development is very, very important aspect. And today, I will be speaking on the use of open source software utilities for e-content development. And we all are now very easily utilizing the ICT in our teaching learning process. But not very long ago, during pandemic, we all majority of us started using it without much or without any training. And see, this is human nature, that we learn things so easily. So majority of the colleagues who are attending this interaction, who are with us now, they also must have utilized and must have seen the power of information and communication technology during the COVID pandemic period. And we all remember, while the entire world came to a standstill, this ICT came to our rescue, and it saved the academic career of millions of students all over the world. And it keep us engaged as a learner. So we, the teachers, also learn how to make use of these modern technologies which are supporting education in online mode. And we are, as I said in the very beginning, but initially majority of us in India, we learned the use of this online education technology in a rush. But now is the time. We formally try to get into the details of what these technologies and how the things, how the technology runs behind, and what are the technologies, which upcoming technologies which would be assisting us as a teacher in our teaching learning process. And today the situation has almost changed. We all see how the digitization is going on. Even smaller things we are buying and purchasing, making use of our mobile phones. And there are efforts going on localization. This effort is going on on the larger scale in India, and the government of India's digital initiatives. One of the project known as Bhashini. So they are working on this project. What they are doing, they are collecting the samples of local languages, right? And through that sample of a local language, say for example Bhojpuri, not only the scheduled language Bhojpuri or Braj or other local languages, a wide spectrum of languages which are spoken in India. So even if when we move from, say, this city Aligarh towards eastern part, we can see a variation in Bhojpuri. In the same way, we can see variation in Braj as well. So those samples are being collected, and those samples will be utilized to train a model, and through that modeling, and majority of you might have heard the name of artificial intelligence and machine learning. So through those models and through those machine learning techniques, the efforts are on to localize the things, right? The population living in the far-flung area, they should also be able to utilize the existing technology. So that is all possible due to very fast changing, fast pace of changing, technology in this particular domain, which is known as ICT. So especially in the educational field, AI is also playing a major role, and the quality of teaching and the quality of a student's learning, they are determined by us as a teacher when we teach them. A well-trained teacher with, required knowledge in a particular domain, rather much beyond that, skills and commitment can develop critical, scientific and critical thinking, and promote tolerance and develop a culture and social values in our students. Innovative technologies will definitely make it possible to achieve these by providing new ways to us as a teacher. But these new technologies, they are placing more demands on us to learn how to use them. And before using them, what are those technologies? How can those technologies assist us in our teaching and learning process? Hence, we as a teacher have to meet these new challenges by continuously acquiring new knowledges and skills apart from the our specialized domain. So some of you may be from language background, some of maybe teaching your botany, some zoology, some Arabic and other literature, other subjects. So it is very, very important for us that we continue to learn things which can be better help us in teaching learning process. And on a educational landscape in India, things are changing on a very fast pace. Pfizer ma'am just discussed about the MOOCs courses which are being developed. We, the Indians, and our country is diverse, and we have a population of around 1.4 billion and more, even more than that. And that population is growing at a very fast pace. So majority of the citizens in India as of now is they are youth, right? So with that kind of youthful energy, it is very important for us as a teacher how to channelize their energy in the right direction of learning. I would share some data with you. It is based on the report of FICCI and Ernst & Young, that India approximately has 3.5 million students in higher education as of 2024. You can check this data, it is available on the net. And we have over 1,000 universities, and the division of these 1,000 universities, we have 54 central universities. We have around 415 or 16 state universities. We have few deemed universities, around 125, and we have a good number of private university which are more than 400, and every day some more new universities are coming up. And all these institution that includes institutes of national importance as well, like IITs, like NITs, like AIMS, like IIMs, and of course AMU and BHU. That particular report says that by 2030, we are in 2024, India will have around 14 million students. See, the current status is around roughly 3.5 million students, and in the next 5 to 6 years, we'll have around 14 million students. That will amount to 4 times increase in the demand of educational needs, right? And this is quite challenging. To meet this kind of need, India as a nation would need 4 times more universities or colleges, and accordingly infrastructure, and accordingly various resources, and accordingly the number of teachers. We all understand that this is quite an uphill task. In next 6 years, we can't see this happening, that we have 4,000 plus university. And of course, the demand of the students would be according to the need of the time, right? So relevant subject with a proper mix of relevant technologies and all, definitely will have to, do something. So government have started thinking, and the focus is more on online education. And definitely, as we discussed, that is quite a challenging task to have 4,000 plus university in the next 6 years. So to handle this situation, as a teacher, I understand that online education is definitely going to play a big role. And because there is a huge divide, people who are living in A class, B class city, they have access to quality education, quality institution and all. But think of majority of the population, 70% of population, they live in rural areas. In those areas, there are hardly quality institutions and all. So how to provide this quality education to those masses, that is quite a challenging task, right? And if we look towards online education, it clearly has the potential to make to create a bridge between this gap which is currently there, and so that it can meet the challenges, or according to the 21st century needs, educational needs, right? Ensuring quality education and equitable access to all is quite a challenging task. And as ma'am rightly pointed out, that government needs to open their eyes on deliverables of the educational content, which we can say e-content, to and we need to have a set of parameters of quality to judge those contents so that it can reach to the learners, whether school going students or students going to colleges, means from school up to higher education. SWAYAM, SWAYAM. It is an acronym for Study Webs of Active Learning for Young Aspiring Minds. I would request you to please be ready with your pen and paper so that you may take note of important points so that you can read more, because everything cannot be covered in 1.5 hour. So just note it down, important points. So SWAYAM is one such initiative by the government of India which offers online course. It is a MOOCs platform. MOOCs, MOOCs, massive open online courses, right? So SWAYAM is India's MOOCs platform, right? Many things are going on. What is important that you also become a part of it, because only few universities like AMU and BHU and JNU and DU and Jamia, they cannot fulfill the requirement what the learners need. So for us as a teacher, it is very important that we enhance our capacity. This capacity building in fact has become mandatory for all of us for successful implementation of this educational chain, because there's a shift from traditional teaching learning methods to online teaching learning methods. So we have to, and now say things are we are talking about the inclusion of AI into it as well. Yeah. So AI enabled online teaching learning methods. But in our case, we'll be focusing more on open source software in e-content development, right? So I'm very sorry, I could not share my presentation. Let me do that. Is it visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So we'll be focusing on open source software utilities for development of e-content. So there will be two parts of my discussion. One part will be focusing on open source utilities. That is very important. We'll try to understand that. When we'll be focusing on the e-content development. So in this session, as well as one more session, we'll be discussing all this. So I'll move on rather more fast. We all know that computers, whether it is a desktop computer or a laptop computer or a palm top computer, because our mobile phones are no less than computers. It is capable of doing high quality computing. So there are two parts of it, hardware and software. The tangible part of it is known as hardware, which we can physically touch and see, which has certain chemical and physical property. But we all know that computer cannot do things on its own. Although with the upcoming of AI, we have very smart computer system, but still the kind of computer system which are accessible to us, they generally do not think of their own. So what they need a support of a soul. That soul is software. And that software is used to manipulate the capability of hardwares. So there are two aspects, hardware and software. So whenever you buy hardware, you put focus on buying those hardwares which are latest, right? Latest specifications in terms of processors, in terms of cores, in terms of its speed, in terms of its capability to handle graphics, in terms of its capability to handle multimedia, in terms of its capability to handle videos, right? So we talk of main memory of the computer system, RAM. In the same way, we talk of secondary storage medium. We talk of hard disk. Nowadays, SSD, right? So all these things are very important. We'll be focusing on software part of it. So software systems, they are created or written through some programming language. There are number of programming language. You might have heard about C or Fortran or Pascal or C++ or C# or Java. And these days, what is the very popular language? You might have heard Python, right? So these programming languages are used to create codes. And these codes are nothing but commands coded into it. And when it is run on the computer system, it asks the computer system to do things. And according to the control and command provided by the program, hardware start to follow. These softwares broadly that we use are two types. One is known as the kind of software that make the hardware usable is operating system. The rest of them are application softwares. So you might be knowing about Windows, you might be knowing about Android, right? You might be knowing about iOS, Linux, and many flavors of Linux, whether SUSE Linux or whether Sun operating system or whether Ubuntu or whether Kali Linux. Many flavors of Linux are available. What are these softwares? These softwares are program codes written in certain programming languages, right? There are broadly two types of softwares which are available. One of them is known as open source software. This is another way of classification of software. And the other one is known as closed source software. So we'll have an understanding of what is open source and what is closed source. Look at the screen. The source code, the programming code of open software source softwares, it is in public domain, right? But in closed source software, which are otherwise proprietary, their source codes are not available. Their executed codes are available. So their source codes are protected. It is not accessible to us. We cannot make any change into it. Although I'm a very good programmer, you are a very good programmer, you cannot make change into it, closed source software. But open source softwares are available with entire software system, software codes written in whatever language it has been written. And if you are a programmer, you can make use of those, you can make changes into that. Second important part, these code, as I just said, they can be modified by us as a user or the organizations. But in case of closed source software, it is not possible. The open source softwares are usually free. When I say free, I'll explain this term later on. Generally, it is bearing no cost. Generally, it is general understanding, and that is the situation. But as compared to this in closed source software, you need to, invest money, right? You pay and you use it. You pay and you buy it. For open source software, you just download it freely and use it. In some cases, as I said, that the term free needs some certain explanation. I'll explain it later. Even if it has some cost, it is very, very less as compared to closed source software. So when you purchase an open source software, what you purchase? You purchase software source code. But when you purchase closed source software, you don't purchase its source code. Rather, you purchase software license to make use of it. And you pay to use it. Regarding open source software, there is not much restriction on users based on the usability and modification of software. हमारे पास वही सॉफ्टवेयर है, आपके पास वही सॉफ्टवेयर है, मैं अपने हिसाब से उसमें चेंजेस कर सकता हूं, आप अपने हिसाब से चेंजेस कर सकते हैं, कोई इस पे रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं है. The only thing is that whatever changes that I am committing, if they are good and it has enhanced the software, I'll make it available to the public and others will make use of it. Right? So it is very collaborative, almost free, and it is for us to enhance it and share it. So there are thousands and thousands and millions of programmers all over the world who are contributing in this kind of software system, which is just not possible in closed source software. Only authorized users can make modification in closed source softwares, and they are generally the programmers who work for a certain organization, and they do things and they are being paid for it. So programmers in open source software case, they freely provide improvement, they get recognition. But as compared to this, in closed source softwares, the programmer, nobody knows the programmer. Only the company is known. You do never know that who are the people behind its development. Right? It's a teamwork. You can install open source software into any computer. But if you wish to install a closed source software, you need to have a valid license. And majority of us, we know that you can download the software, you cannot run it unless you get the key. You pay for it, you get the key. That key fetches you the license. And once that license is internally provided, that software is loaded. You cannot copy it. Although, as I said, that there are cracked softwares which are available even if closed source software. तो वो कोई अच्छी practice नहीं है, चोरी किया हुआ software है. Or we are teachers, so morally we are bound that we first of all refrain ourselves from using that kind of softwares which are cracked. But what options are available if we don't have, because you need to pay for it. So there are options for almost all top quality closed source softwares. There are open softwares available. Some of them, as you can see on the screen, examples are Firefox. This is an alternative of web. For web browsing, you need a web browser. जैसे आपने इंटरनेट एक्सप्लोरर यूज किया होगा, है ना? क्रोम यूज करते हैं, तो क्रोम क्या है? क्रोम ओपन सोर्स का सॉफ्टवेयर है, which is owned by Google, which is an organization. इसी तरह से ओपन ऑफिस है, जिम्प है, MySQL है, पर्ल है, PHP है, Moodle है, Dex है. These are some of the names you might be knowing, some you may not. I'll be focusing on open source part of it, that what alternative for paid softwares which are available free of course, and you must make use of that rather than investing huge money, because in most of the government organization, money for paying license fee is almost impossible. So what we normally do, we buy computer system and the seller provides a cracked version of Windows, or sometimes in our university, what we do some smart purchasing. So we put request to the hardware seller to give us a preloaded version of, say, for example, Windows, right? So that hardware provider has a bundled license copy. So it gives us a license, and that software will only be utilized on that particular system for its useful life, which is generally 5 years. On the right hand side, you can see name of some of the closed source softwares like Skype, like Google Earth, like Java, like Adobe Flash, like VirtualBox, Adobe Reader. We are all using Adobe Reader, Microsoft Office, Microsoft Windows, WinRAR, Mac operating system, Adobe Flash Player. This Android phone that you use, the Android is an operating system for mobile phones. That lies under open source software. That is free of cost. You don't pay for it, right? As compared to this, you buy an Apple phone, you are using iOS, you are paying for it, right? By using open source software, we have many advantages. One of them is we save money, because majority of open source softwares, as I said, are free of cost. It saves time on license administration, right? When you're using it, you're using its legal copy, not an illegal one, not a cracked one. So your license liabilities are reduced. You need not, pay for annual subscription. So a lot of money is saved. See, majority of the government organization funding is an issue. So why, we all start crying, say we don't have, university is not providing fund, college is not providing fund. Why do waste money on all that when we have free and better tools available in open source? Many open source applications are very easy for Mac platform and for Windows users to understand. And there are over 100,000 open source applications available, including almost all of the common desktop productivity program, all, as I said. So there is likely to be an application for most needs. So majority of the things which are required to create professional quality content, all these softwares, they are available free of cost in open source. Plus, another advantage is upgrades. The upgrade for open source softwares are free. You don't need to pay for it. As you can see, the same thing I have shown it. Free softwares are there. Open source softwares are there. Freewares are there. Public domain softwares are there. You need to have understanding. When something is free, it is a matter of liberty, not a price. You are paying nothing, but you have the liberty to make changes. You have the liberty to make use of it. You have license to make use of it. All the open source softwares are free source softwares. What does open mean? Open means its specifications, its details, its internal structures are known to you. It doesn't just mean that the source codes are only available free of cost. Next is freeware. Freeware means it is for free. But this freedom is for a certain period of time. This freedom is for certain aspect or certain facilities. Say, if that software is can provide 10 different facilities, 2 or 3 modules are free, rest of the things are not free. So it is nothing but a gimmick for you to trap. You start using it for free. Once you are easy going with that, now you are asked to pay for it. Next one is public domain softwares. These kind of softwares are not related or not attributed to any organization. Free softwares can be a part of any organization, as I said, that Google, right? Open softwares have the same thing, but public domain softwares does not belong to any individual or any organization. It is in the public domain. It is for us to use. So they are all covered: free software, open source software, and freeware. They are covered by copyright law. Free software, as I said, they need not be free of charge, but majority of them are. Open source software does not mean free of charge, but majority of them are. Freeware are free. Public domain softwares are free. Now, let us have few words on e-content. What is e-content? Any form of content which is in digital form is e-content. E-content means electronic content. E-content means educational electronic content as well. So, any digital content prepared in a pedagogical framework consisting of multiple forms of content. It may be text, it may be images, it may be graphs, it may be voice, means audio, it may be animation, it may be chart, it may be media. Together it is known as multimedia. And multimedia is the natural way we are trained to, we see the things. We look around and the things are there in the multiple forms, right? So it is the natural way we perceive something. So any digital content prepared in a pedagogical framework and which is consisting of multiple forms of content. This may be text and images only, or this may be text and graphics, or a combination of text, image, graphics, animation, chart, audio, video, and many more. And which can be used for which purpose? Training purpose or educational purpose. So our focus is to create this kind of content. Film is also an electronic content, right? Different news materials, they are also electronic content, but what we are focusing on, electronic educational content. So it is evident that for e-content creation, what will be required? We will need to handle different types of software tools. Not a single tool can do everything, because to create text, to create image, to create graphics, to create animation, to create chart, to create audio, to create video, we will have to handle different hardwares and different softwares. So variety of softwares would be needed, and using those softwares, we can put them in one box, collect at one place, and create something which is appealing, which is interactive, and which is within the pedagogical framework, and which can be utilized to train and educate learners. We can call it educational electronic content, and this is what we have to learn, right? What we have to create as a teacher. So there are a variety of proprietary products, software products which are available. But as I said that for almost all of this, a good number of open source softwares are available. Not, say for example, for, word processing, you don't have only one open source software. We have variety of it. Wherever you feel comfortable, you make use of it. That is the thing. So there are a variety of tools available. What is important that we must know what are those tools. That is one thing. We must know what tools would be required in creating your e-content, because the idea is your, the concept is your, right? So you will make use of those ideas and concepts, and then you will choose the tools. Either you do it yourself or you get it done by others. But you must know that what are the tools being utilized and what is being created. That is very important. So you will be basically the producer of that educational e-content. This slide is showing the roadmap for e-content development. We can have live lectures, like I'm speaking to you, it can be recorded. And once this video will be recorded, it can be, edited. Its audio can be enhanced. Some transcript may be added. And for that, again, some editable tool would be required. Those tools can be closed soft source and open source. Other way, you create the content offline, you create graphics, you create animation, you create presentation, you create notes and documents, you then record the video separately, and after that, you edit the video, you enhance the audio, you add transcripts and subtitles as needed in order to make your final product more impressive, more indulging, more interactive, more appealing to the learner. That is very important aspect. And once you're done with that, you share your recorded e-content with the learners. Now the point is, either you share it on your own YouTube channel for free, or you share it on a subscription basis. But what I said, that we are government employees and we work for certain organizations, some institution, educational institution. So we have the option, as I said, government has planned, because government, the planners, they know that to achieve the target of 4,000 plus universities, to cater to the educational needs of 14 million learners, Indian learners, by 2030 is something not achievable. So the alternative is being provided. And you might have heard that in National Educational Policy 2020, 20 to 40% courses are mandatory to be, completed in online mode. But where are those contents? How can the student achieve, get those contents? So the efforts are on, right? The 52 universities, central universities, they created 38 courses. And in the coming session, 2 universities who got the status of INI, Institute of National Importance. One of them is Banaras Indian University and one of them is Aligarh Muslim University. We started working on it. Someone is speaking and your mic is on. please,
शिमला मिर्च 120 रुपये किलो।
please disable
Copy
your
to me.
mic. You're disturbing. Sir, please disable your mic.
हाँ हम ले आओ।
Thank you. आपकी आवाज आ रही है?
पता नहीं जाएंगे यार।
Okay. So, SWAM is that platform. And so what we did, we created 31 MOOCs courses and they are available online on SWAM platform. You can go there and you can check it. Write SWAM on Google, search it, click INI, then you will have plenty of courses. Many of them have been developed, they were developed at BHU. Many courses from various disciplines are available through SWAM portal developed by us. In the Department of Computer Science, MU, we have our own setup. We have e-content development studio, e-content development lab as well, where we create and then edit and create the final product. But we are also collaborating with IIT Madras because some of you might have heard about NPTEL. So IITs have been doing this for quite long time, and they have created almost all the technology based courses which they are teaching, and many of them are being taught by other engineering colleges and all. So they're all available for the learners to learn free of cost. So we have the SWAM platform. You all note it down that is the platform when you will create a project and you will share it with. Say, because being an INI, we have the autonomy now to not to go through the various procedure. Otherwise, you will have to write a project, submit it to the Ministry of Education. It will be evaluated by the subject experts, and once they will be satisfied, they can go ahead. Then you will get a project and do that. So, in order to avoid all that, Ministry of Education has given us the liberty that since we are having INI status, we have those kind of expertise in different discipline, and we have academic bodies like BOS, like our own academic council. So all the approved courses through those bodies, they can be created for online learners. As I said that for a wide variety of tools are available for doing wide variety of tasks for e-content creation. As I said, multiple forms of contents are to be handled, and to handle them, what will be required? Different types of tools. So I have mentioned category of tools. For graphics and illustration, we have graphics and illustration tool. We have diagramming tool. We have animation tool. We have one category called office productivity tool. We have one category called PDF tool. We have one category called a screen recording tool. We have one category called audio editing tool. We have one category called transcription tool. We have one category called concept mapping tool. And the list can go on and on. But these are some of the important tools which are mandatory for us as a teacher to have knowledge about. As I said that you may not be master of using that particular application, but you must know that these tools are in existence. These can be utilized and things can be done on these open source tools, apart from proprietary tools. Is it clear? Any response from audience?
यस सर।
आप बताएंगे नहीं तो मुझे तो लग रहा है कि मैं ऐसा आई कैन नॉट सी योर फेसेस।
सर हिंदी में भी बताएं सर तो बड़ी मेहरबानी होगी। हिंदी में भी अगर सर बताएं तो बड़ी मेहरबानी होगी सर। हाँ
सर मैं जरूर बीच बीच में बोल रहा हूँ, बट यानी मुझे मेजॉरिटी का ध्यान भी रखना चाहिए। मैं जो बातें जो कर रहा हूं, मैं आपसे मैंने जो बातें की उसको समराइज कर देता हूं। मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि एजुकेशनल पटल पे, यानी शिक्षा के पटल पे बहुत बड़ा चेंज आ गया है। कोरोना पेंडेमिक के बाद हमने ऑनलाइन टीचिंग को पूरी दुनिया ने अपना लिया है। अब उससे निकलने का कोई तरीका नहीं है। और हमने बताया कि जिस तरह से भारत में हमारी आबादी बढ़ रही है, अभी केवल 2024 में हमारे पास 1000 यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं और हमारे पास 3.5 मिलियन स्टूडेंट्स हैं। लेकिन 2030 तक, और ये EY फिक्की की रिपोर्ट है इसलिए इसको इग्नोर नहीं किया जा सकता, तो हमारे पास यानी 14 मिलियन से ज्यादा यूथ पॉपुलेशन होगा। और उस यूथ पॉपुलेशन की यूथफुल एनर्जी को चैनलाइज करने के लिए, उनको एजुकेट करने के लिए हमारे पास संसाधन नहीं होंगे उतने, क्योंकि आने वाले 6 वर्षों में किसी भी हाल में हम 4000 या उससे ज्यादा यूनिवर्सिटीज क्रिएट नहीं कर सकते हैं। तो उसका एक अच्छा तरीका, एक अच्छा माध्यम जो ऑल्टरनेटिव है, वो न्यू एजुकेशनल पॉलिसी में यही डिमांड, यही ध्यान रखा गया है कि कोई लर्नर अगर अभी लर्निंग कर रहा है तो पहला साल कर लेता है और किसी वजह से मान लीजिए BA करके या BSc करके वो छूट जाती है उसकी पढ़ाई, तो वो उसका पढ़ना बेकार ना जाए, उसको सर्टिफिकेशन मिल जाए। इसी तरह से दूसरा साल, इसी तरह से तीसरा साल, चौथा साल, तो अपनी पढ़ाई जितना करेगा, सर्टिफिकेट, डिप्लोमा, डिग्री, है ना, और ऑनर्स, इस तरह की चीजें मिलती जाएंगी। ये सब बात आपको क्लियर है। अब आप देख रहे होंगे कि मेजर है, माइनर है, इलेक्टिव है। अब इतने सारी चीजें आप कैसे, यानी हमारे पास 10 ही टीचर है और हम इलेक्टिव तो कोई, हमारे पास चॉइस है, 1 ऑफर कर सकते हैं, 2 ऑफर कर सकते हैं, और कैसे ऑफर करें। तो उसका ऑल्टरनेटिव ये है कि अगर आपके पास एक्सपर्टीज नहीं है तो एज ए टीचर आप देखिए कि स्वयं के पोर्टल पे क्या वो कोर्स अवेलेबल है तो अपने स्टूडेंट को कहिए कि वहां से कर ले। पढ़ने का कोई खर्चा नहीं है, उसमें एग्जाम देना चाहता है तो उसके 750 रुपए हैं अभी के समय में, वो उसकी फीस देगा। उसमें परीक्षा होती है जो नेशनल टेस्टिंग एजेंसी कराती है, और उस परीक्षा में उत्तीर्ण हो गया, पास हो गया, तो उसको सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा। 4 क्रेडिट का कोर्स करेगा तो 4 क्रेडिट का, 2 क्रेडिट करेगा तो 2 क्रेडिट का, 1 क्रेडिट का करेगा तो 1 क्रेडिट का। अब वो लाके अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी में जमा कर देगा, यूनिवर्सिटी उसके जो रिकॉर्ड है उसमें ऐड हो जाएगा और दिखाया जाएगा। से फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक सेमेस्टर में उसको 16 क्रेडिट चाहिए थे अर्न करने, तो उसमें से वो 4 क्रेडिट या 8 क्रेडिट वो स्वयं के थ्रू अर्न करके ला सकता है। दूसरा, मेजर और माइनर और इलेक्टिव के अलावा वैल्यू एडेड कोर्स और वोकेशनल कोर्स, VOC एंड VAC, ये ऐसे कोर्सेज हैं जो स्टूडेंट को ऑफर करने हैं NEP में। अब आप बताइए कि बहुत सारे ऐसे कॉलेजेस हैं जहां डिपार्टमेंट में 2 या 3 ही शिक्षक हैं, कैसे संभव है? तो वो सब संभव है ऑनलाइन मोड में। हर के हाथ में मोबाइल फोन है, बहुत सस्ता इंटरनेट का एक्सेस है, तो पढ़ने के लिए कोई फिक्स समय नहीं है। कोई नौकरी करता है, कोई गरीब है, इक्विटी जिसको कहते हैं, इक्वालिटी से भी एक स्टेप आगे, इक्विटी, है ना, के साथ एजुकेशन का एक्सेस संभव है। अब एज अ टीचर हमारी ये जिम्मेदारी बनती है कि हम उनको जो कुछ भी परोसे पढ़ने के लिए, तो उनको सिर्फ किताब ना दे दें, बल्कि ऐसा इन्वॉल्व रखें जैसे क्लास में हम लोग करते हैं। तो उसके लिए हमें कंटेंट बनाने पड़ेंगे, और जब हम कंटेंट बनाते हैं तो हमने बताया कि अलग अलग तरह के टेक्स्ट भी है, ग्राफिक्स भी है, डायग्राम भी है, सब बोर्ड वर्क पे तो करते हैं। वो सारा काम आप यहाँ करें और वो सब रिकॉर्ड हो जाए, रिकॉर्डेड फॉर्म में है, तो लड़का 1 बार नहीं, 2 बार नहीं, 3 बार एक लेक्चर को देखेगा और देख के चीजें लर्न कर लेगा। तो लर्निंग तो उसके लिए कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं रही। बाकी सर्टिफिकेशन, तो सर्टिफिकेशन का भी तरीका हमने आपको बता दिया। अब एज ए टीचर क्या हमको हर काम खुद ही करना? ना, आपको नहीं करना, किंतु आपको ये जानना जरूर है कि हमें दिल्ली जाना है तो दिल्ली का रास्ता कौन कौन सा है ना, और किस रास्ते में क्या चीज मिलती है, इतना तो पता होगा, ड्राइवर लेके जा रहा होगा। लेकिन रास्ते का बिल्कुल पता ना हो तो आप पूरी तरह से ड्राइवर पे निर्भर रहेंगे, तो ये संभव नहीं है कि आप उस क्वालिटी का ही कंटेंट डेवलप कर पाएंगे। अतः ये हमारे लिए बहुत जरूरी है कि हम जाने कि इसके पीछे कहानी क्या है, इसके पीछे क्या क्या चीजें हैं, है ना। और दो तरह के टूल आपको बताए, एक वो जो पैसे से ही खरीद सकते हैं, और दूसरा वही वाला काम फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट में अवेलेबल है या बहुत कम पैसे में अवेलेबल है, और एक बार आपने खरीद लिया तो आपको फिर कोई लाइसेंसिंग में, अपग्रेडेशन में दिक्कत नहीं आनी है। वो कहलाता है ओपन सोर्स सॉफ्टवेयर टूल। अब उस कैटेगरी में मैं आपको ये बता देना चाहता हूं, अब हमारे पास मुझे लगता है कि क्या समय रहा, आधा घंटे से कम का है, एक और लेक्चर होगा, तो मैं इन सब कैटेगरी में जो टूल्स हैं ताकि आप उनको नोट कर लीजिए, स्क्रीनशॉट ले लीजिए, नोट कर लीजिए, ताकि आप उसको बाद में डाउनलोड करिए और एक एक को यूज करके देखिए, जो अच्छा लगे। सबका ऑनलाइन मैनुअल भी होता है। अब हमें तो 3 घंटे का जैसे समय मिला, और इस तरह के ओरिएंटेशन प्रोग्राम में सब्जेक्ट इनरिचमेंट हो सकता है। आपको हम मास्टर तो नहीं कह सकते कि हम यानी एक ग्राफिक टूल उठाएं और वही चला के सिखा दें, वो 2-3 घंटे में संभव नहीं है। तो एज ए टीचर हमको ये मालूम होना चाहिए रास्ता, है ना। हम अपने स्टूडेंट को भी गाइड कर पाए और खुद भी जान पाए कि आगे रास्ता क्या है, ताकि कोई हमें बेवकूफ न बनाए। ठीक है, जिन लोगों को हिंदी में सुनना था उन तक ये बात सारांश पहुंच गया, नहीं पहुंच गया?
जी पहुंच गया सर।
हाँ, थैंक यू सो वेरी मच। सो नाउ वी मूव ऑन। We begin with graphics and illustration tool, है ना। What is graphics and illustration tool? आप चाहे नोट कर लिए, चाहे स्क्रीनशॉट ले लीजिए। These are the tools which help, which aid, which support in visual design. They help in selecting and arranging various visual elements. टाइपोग्राफी हो, इमेजेस हो, सिंबल्स हो, अलग अलग तरह के कलर्स हो, इनका ओवरऑल इफेक्ट हमारे आपके ऊपर पड़ता है ना। एंड ऑल दीज आर यूज्ड टू कन्वे अ मीनिंग और मैसेज टू द ऑडियंस। ठीक है, तो जितना बढ़िया ग्राफिक्स और विजुअल इफेक्ट होगा उतना बढ़िया अपीलिंग होगा, उतना इंडल्जिंग होगा, और जो उसके ऑडियंस होगी, यूजर, उसको अच्छा लगेगा। आप फिल्में देखते हैं तो आपको वो वाली फिल्म जिसमें बहुत बढ़िया ग्राफिक्स हो, अच्छी ड्रेसिंग हो, अच्छी सिनेरी हो, ढंग से उसको पिक्चराइज किया गया हो, जहां अच्छा स्क्रिप्ट हो, तो हमें आपको बहुत अच्छा लगता है। वैसे ही इंटरेस्टिंग आपको अपना लेक्चर बनाना है। आप जो सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाते हैं, जो कंसेप्ट और आइडियाज आपके हैं, जो कन्वे करते हैं, वो किताबें में मिलके लड़के को मिल जाएगा। आपसे पढ़ने की क्या जरूरत। टीचर चीजों को आसान करता है। टीचर का काम ब्रॉड चीजें पढ़ा के इंटरेस्ट क्रिएट करना है ना। टीचर का काम घोल के ज्ञान भर देना नहीं है। So we must understand that whatever experience that we have, we must share it with our whatever knowledge, the idea that we have. Through various examples, we explain the concept to our students, to our learners, and based on that, they grade us. है ना। कोई बहुत अच्छा टीचर कहलाता है, कोई बहुत खराब टीचर कहलाता है। एक टीचर आता है, खड़ा हुआ और उसने जो है खर्रा निकाला, नोट लिखवाने शुरू कर दिए, तो वो नोट लिखाने वाला टीचर मशहूर हो जाता है ना। लेकिन एक टीचर ऐसा आता है जो टॉपिक्स लिखता है बोर्ड पे, और उसके बाद एक एक पॉइंट को एलाबोरेट करता है, एक्सप्लेन करता है एग्जाम्पल के साथ, और साथ में उसको नोट्स भी प्रोवाइड कर देता है। वैसा टीचर स्टूडेंट को बहुत अच्छा लगता है। तो हमें ऐसा बनना है विद द यूज ऑफ दीज टूल कि हमारी बातें, अब नॉर्मल में हम लोग नेचुरल तरीके से जब बात करते हैं, क्लासरूम में पढ़ाते हैं, तो हमारा अपीयरेंस, हम कैसा पहने हुए हैं, कैसा बोल रहे हैं, कैसी भाषा का प्रयोग कर रहे हैं, है ना, और किस तरह से बोर्ड वर्क कर रहे हैं। सिर्फ हम बोलते बोलते रहे तो अच्छा नहीं लगता है, तो हम बोर्ड वर्क भी करते हैं, डायग्राम्स भी बनाते हैं, उसको एक्सप्लेन करने, कभी कभी कलरफुल चॉक्स का भी इस्तेमाल करते हैं, है ना, अपने कॉन्सेप्ट। तो ये सारी चीजें मिला के एक अच्छा विजुअल इफेक्ट क्रिएट करती हैं। तो ऐसा करने के लिए हमें एक टूल की आवश्यकता होगी कंप्यूटर के माध्यम से। वो प्रोप्राइटरी टूल भी हो सकता है और ओपन सोर्स भी हो सकता है। मैं रिपीट कर रहा हूं, हमारा फोकस ओपन सोर्स सॉफ्टवेयर पे है। So let us see what are the graphics and illustration tools which are available for us in open source mode. This is one diagram, as you can see, while explaining human cells. It will not be possible for us to draw this kind of diagram on a board. और अगर ऐसा करेंगे तो बहुत समय हमारा व्यर्थ हो जाए. तो हम क्या करें, इस तरह का एक डायग्राम एक बार बना ले. ये पिक्चर अवेलेबल है. अब आप देखिए, एक ह्यूमन सेल को एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए जो भी जरूरी चीजें हैं वो सब इसके ऊपर हैं. अब बस अपना कॉन्सेप्ट, आपका समय बच गया. जो बोर्ड वर्क कोर्स में तो आपने जब ऑनलाइन पढ़ाया होगा कोविड के दौरान, तो हमारा अपना एक्सपीरियंस ये है कि हम 1 घंटे में जितना पढ़ाते हैं या 2 घंटे में जितना पढ़ाते हैं ऑनलाइन मोड में, नॉर्मल क्लासेस में वो 3 या कभी कभी 3.5 घंटे में पूरा हो पाता है. ठीक है ना. तो ऑनलाइन मोड में कंटेंट ज्यादा जाता है. और इसको इंटरैक्टिव बनाने के लिए बीच बीच में, जैसे मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूं कि आप अपनी बात कहें, आप पूछें जो बात समझ में नहीं आ रही है. तो ये इस तरह की भी पॉसिबिलिटी है क्या? आंसर है यस, ये भी पॉसिबल है. देयर आर मेनी डिफरेंट वेज. यानी हम सब ऑनलाइन मोड में, सबके चेहरे दिख रहे हैं, है ना. मेरा फोकस या आपका सबका फोकस इस वक्त स्क्रीन पे है. अच्छा, ये वाला हमने इस वाले सोर्स से लिया. तो हमने बताया कि ये HTTPS यहाँ देखिए लिखा हुआ है. हमने कहाँ से लिया है ये दिखाने के लिए. तो आप जब ई कंटेंट डेवलप कर रहे हो, किसी बुक से या इंटरनेट से या किसी सोर्स से कोई मटेरियल ले रहे हो, तो आप उसको ड्यू क्रेडिट दे. सो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, इज अ हेल्दी प्रैक्टिस कि दूसरे के काम को अपने नाम से कर लेना अच्छी बात नहीं है ना. वी आर टीचर्स, और टीचर्स को तो मोरली बहुत स्ट्रांग होना पड़ता है. तो ये एथिक्स और मोरालिटी हम कहाँ से सीखते? हम बचपन में हमारी जो ग्रूम हुई है, जैसे स्कूल में मोरल साइंस पढ़ाया गया है, और अपने धार्मिक किताबों से और अपने के घर के बड़े बुजुर्गों से ये बात सीखते हैं और हम सीखते आए हैं. तो वही तरीका होगा और यही चीज हमें अपने जनरेशन तक ट्रांसफर करना. सो दिस इज showing a tool created through a graphic creation and illustration tool, right? This is one example. What are those tools? Let us see. GIMP, GIMP, GIMP. और इसके बराबर में देखिएगा, ये जो बना हुआ है लोगो, 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 आप सब पहचानते हैं, है ना. इसमें से कोई लोगो बता रहा है कि ये एप्पल का लोगो है, कोई लाइनक्स का है, कोई विंडोज का है, कोई एंड्रॉइड का है ना. यू ऑल अंडरस्टैंड इट. सो रादर देन राइटिंग इट, आई जस्ट शोन द image. So it is a Chinese proverb that a picture worth 1,000 words. आप एक फिल्म दिखा दे या एक पिक्चर, एक फोटो दिखा दे, तो आपके 1000 शब्दों को बचा लेगा. बोलने की आवश्यकता नहीं है, देख के समझ में आ जाता. तो यहाँ पे देखिए, आपने देखा a picture worth. This GIMP is a graphics creation and illustration tool. It is an open source tool available for how many different platforms? तो लिखा हुआ है, ये एंड्रॉइड पे अवेलेबल है, ये विंडोज के लिए अवेलेबल है, ये लाइनक्स के लिए अवेलेबल है, ये एप्पल के प्लेटफॉर्म के लिए अवेलेबल. GIMP stands for GNU, GNU Image Manipulation Program. GIMP is GNU Image Manipulation Program, and it is a powerful program for photo manipulation, basic graphic creation and illustration. अब आपने Photoshop, जिसको Adobe नाम की एक कंपनी है, उसका प्रोप्राइटरी प्रोडक्ट है, तो अगर आप Photoshop खरीदते हैं Adobe से, तो उसका लाइसेंस आपको खरीदना पड़ेगा, और एक लाइसेंस मिला है तो एक सिस्टम पे यूज कर पाएंगे बस. ओपन सोर्स में आपने डाउनलोड किया, जितने सिस्टम पे चाहे यूज कीजिए, कोई पैसा नहीं देना, और देना पड़ा कुछ केसेस में तो बहुत मीगर छोटी सी अमाउंट है. दिस सॉफ्टवेयर इज क्लोज टू इमेज एडिटिंग पावर एंड फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी ऑफ द Adobe Photoshop, and you can start using GIMP by trying simple tasks such as cropping, such as resizing images, and over time you will keep on learning this, and you will become more and more smart to make use of it. And how advanced manipulation of images and things are possible through GIMP. It is for you to see. So GIMP is a cross platform. क्रॉस प्लेटफॉर्म का मतलब ये इतने 4 तरह के ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम हमने लिखे हैं, इनके लिए अवेलेबल है, एंड कैन ओपन एंड एक्सपोर्ट टू अ वाइड वैरायटी ऑफ फॉर्मेट्स इंक्लूडिंग दोज पॉपुलराइज्ड बाय फोटोशॉप. तो फोटोशॉप के इमेजेस का या फोटोशॉप के जो फाइनल प्रोडक्ट का जो उसका फॉर्मेट होगा, वो फॉर्मेट यहाँ भी काम, इसमें बनाई हुई चीजें वहां भी मैनिपुलेट हो सकती है, वहां वाली यहाँ हो सकती है. अब आप पूछेंगे ये कहाँ मिलेगा, तो आप देखेंगे URL लिखा हुआ है. URL लिख रहे हैं आप, यूनिफॉर्म रिसोर्स लोकेटर. ये किसको कहते हैं? ये वाला एड्रेस जो आप टाइप करते हैं कहाँ, गूगल में या किसी भी वेब ब्राउजर में, HTTPS है ना. S का मतलब सिक्योर है, H हाइपरटेक्स्ट ट्रांसफर प्रोटोकॉल, S फॉर सिक्योर, राइट. ये इसके लिखने का तरीका है. तो www.gimp.org पे ये अवेलेबल है. यू कैन गो देयर एंड डाउनलोड इट. ठीक है. अब ये अकेला नहीं, ओपन सोर्स पे और भी बहुत सारे ग्राफिक्स क्रिएशन और इलस्ट्रेशन के टूल है. Another one is Inkscape. It is available for all 4 platforms. So it is also cross-platform. Inkscape is a feature-rich, vector-based graphic design program that is analogous to Adobe Illustrator. जैसे Adobe का Photoshop है, वैसे ही Adobe Illustrator है. और एक और पॉपुलर सॉफ्टवेयर है जिसको कोरेल ड्रॉ कहते हैं. आप में से बहुत सारे लोगों ने ये नाम सुना होगा. सो यू कैन यूज इट टू क्रिएट सिंपल ग्राफिक्स, diagrams, layouts, or icon art, and it supports a lot of advanced feature which enables graphic designer to effect alpha blending, perform complex path operations, trace bitmaps, edit nodes, clone objects, import native Adobe Illustrator files, and many more. And it supports numerous file formats, and its interface is very flexible and very user friendly. So it is very useful and very easy to use. You can download how to use Inkscape step by step, है ना. यूजर मैनुअल जिसको कहते हैं, तो इन सब का यूजर मैनुअल भी आपको ऑनलाइन मिल जाएगा कि कैसे आपको यूज करना है इसे. इसका URL देखिए यहां लिखा हुआ है, यू नोट इट डाउन, inkscape.org. Just type this on your Google. Many of you can try it now, and it will be available for you. You just download it, install it on your computer system, and start straight using it instead of Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, Corel Draw, or any other proprietary product, right? So any one of it, you need not be master of all. But if you are using GIMP and say, for example, you know the features GIMP provide, how easygoing the GIMP is, you can make use of Inkscape and you can understand the difference, right? In the same way, for the same purpose, graphics creation and illustration, we have another tool in open source category, which is MyPaint. Please note it down. And it is again cross-platform, as you can see. It is available for all 4 major platforms. And it is a drawing tablet-centric, expressive drawing and illustration tool. And it is lightweight and has minimal interface with a rich set of keyboard shortcuts so that you can focus on drawing without having to drop your pen. है ना? आप अपना स्क्रीन पे ही वो ड्रॉ कर सकते. टैबलेट सेंट्रिक है. So you can create your own drawing. Download it for your kids to use. And you will be surprised that your kid are smarter than you. They can start straight using it and they can do wonders. बच्चों को देखिए ना, आप बताते हैं, हम आप बताते हैं कि मोबाइल फोन हाथ में आ जाए और देखिए क्या क्या काम करते हैं, कैसे कैसे गेम्स खेलते हैं. तो इंपॉर्टेंट ये है कि एक तो टूल के बारे में जानिए, टूल यूज करना जानिए और डरिए मत. ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा कि कंप्यूटर से हाथ बाहर आएगा और आपको अंदर खींच लेगा ना. बिल्कुल ऐसा नहीं होने जाना है ना. बस जो हेजिटेशन है, एज ए टीचर जब हम बड़े हो जाते हैं तो हमें कोई नई चीज चेंज जो है अच्छा नहीं लगता, या हम आदी हो जाते हैं इजी गोइंग. अब समय आ गया है, आप इजी गोइंग नहीं रह सकते. मैं तो अभी प्लेन टूल्स की बात कर रहा हूं. एआई का इंटीग्रेशन इज ऑल्सो पॉसिबल. कभी समय मिला तो उस पर भी कभी आपसे इंटरेक्शन होगा तो मैं बताऊंगा कि हाउ एआई कैन डू वंडर्स in your teaching learning process, right? So right now the focus is on e-content development using open source software utility. Its URL is mypen.org. Another one is Krita, 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 and as you can see on screen, I hope it is visible to all of you. For all major platforms it is available, so it is cross-platform and it is a great vector graphics creator which focuses majorly on digital illustration and painting. And this application called Krita is very popular among illustrators, among concept artists, among comic artists. So it is fully loaded with extras such as brushes, such as palettes, such as patterns, such as hundreds and thousands of templates that you can make use of, right? So it is available in various languages. The version mentioned here in this is English, krita.org/in. So through this you can have English interface, and this is a wonderful graphics creation illustration. So we discuss about GIMP, Inkscape, MyPaint, Krita. Let us see what more are available for us. Pixlr, 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 right? It is available for, see, these three platforms. It is an Android and iOS. This is the symbol of Android, iOS based software, and one of the most popular free open source online image editing tool. So you cannot download it. You can access it through www.pixlr.com, and you can do it. The rest of the thing you can do online. All image editing is possible, right? So the photo editors and graphics designer, they make use of it online, and then once they create the product, they download it. Valentina, it is available for 4 very popular, platforms. Valentina is an application for drafting sewing pattern, silai wala pattern, and it is a cross-platform pattern making program which allows you to create and model patterns of clothing. See how useful it is, and it is available through this URL. So you better note down or have a screenshot of what we are discussing. Font Forge, it is available for 4 different platforms, as you can see, and it is a lightweight font editing tool. ये जो आपको ABCD लिखते हैं वो क्या है? वो राइटिंग स्टाइल है. तो ये राइटिंग स्टाइल कंप्यूटर पे ऐसे ही टाइम्स न्यू रोमन मिल जाता है और एरियल है और दूसरे जो पैटर्न है ऐसे ही थोड़े मिल जाते हैं. उसके लिए मेहनत करनी पड़ती है, वो फॉन्ट क्रिएट करने पड़ते है ना. तो कहाँ क्रिएट करेंगे? फॉन्ट फोर्ज इज वन सच टूल, and it is a lightweight font editing tool for graphics designer, and it supports a broad range of font formats and is ideal for creating a smooth, personalized, open type, true type, and PostScript font designs. So it's a wonderful tool. You all must use it, and it is available at fontforge.org. So here I stop now. The rest of the things I'll be discussing on the next class. I don't remember what is the date. Whatever will be the date, I'll be available. I stop here now. Now we have 5 minutes left. So I would request you to please ask any question if you have. अगर आपके पास कोई सवाल है तो आप पूछिए. Any question, please? Please is asking why.
सर एक क्वेश्चन है मेरा, जैसे हम सरकारी टीचर हैं सर, गवर्नमेंट जॉब में हैं, तो क्या सर हम
जी,
यूट्यूब में भी
योगेश
पढ़ा
जी.
सकते हैं? जी सर, क्या हम यूट्यूब में भी पढ़ा सकते हैं सर?
यूट्यूब पे पढ़ा सकते हैं मतलब नहीं समझे आपका सवाल, थोड़ा क्लियर कीजिए.
यूट्यूब सर, जैसे हम गवर्नमेंट टीचर हैं, गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर में हैं, तो क्या सर यूट्यूब के माध्यम से भी हम पढ़ा सकते हैं?
कौन रोक रहा है आपको? अगर आपके पास अपना लैपटॉप है ना, और आपके पास यूट्यूब पे कोई अच्छा वीडियो है, जो सब्जेक्ट आप पढ़ाते हैं वो अवेलेबल है, तो आप क्या कर सकते हैं? आप वो वाला, आपके यहाँ मल्टीमीडिया प्रोजेक्टर है तो प्रोजेक्ट करके वो चीजें स्टूडेंट को बिल्कुल बता सकते हैं, या आप अपना लेक्चर ले लीजिए और उन्हें यूट्यूब का लिंक दे दीजिए कि इसको वो रिसोर्सेस हम बताते हैं ना स्टूडेंट को, तो यू प्रोवाइड लिंक टू योर स्टूडेंट्स. क्यों नहीं कर सकते? बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं. पर
जी
ये
सर,
नहीं होगा कि आपने अपना YouTube का अपना सा एक बैठ के YouTube में लेक्चर बना के डाल दिया, स्टूडेंट से कहिए वहीं से देख लो. दिस इज नॉट पॉसिबल. आपको पूरा एक कोर्स स्ट्रक्चर डिजाइन करना होता है पूरे सिलेबस का, और वो डिजाइन करने के लिए आपको ये कंटेंट डेवलपमेंट लैब की जरूरत होगी, जहां वो बनेगा, रिकॉर्ड होगा. मैंने कहा कि बहुत सारे मल्टीपल फॉर्म्स ऑफ कंटेंट्स होते हैं, और वो उसका यानी वैसे 4 क्रेडिट का कोई कोर्स है तो उसके लिए 60 लेक्चर होने चाहिए आधा घंटे के, और हर लेक्चर का आपको जो है क्विज बनानी होगी, और उसके हिसाब से आपको असाइनमेंट्स बनाने होंगे, ताकि आप ये देखते रहें कि लर्नर लर्न भी कर रहा है या नहीं कर रहा है. मेरी बात आप तक पहुंच गई योगेश सिंह जी?
हाँ जी 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 सर.
और
तो
कोई
क्या
सवाल हो
सर,
तो जी,
सर क्या
पूछिए.
उन लेक्चरों को हमारे स्टूडेंट के अलावा कोई दूसरे लोग भी देख सकते हैं?
स्वयं के प्लेटफॉर्म पे आप अभी जाइएगा और आप देखिएगा, कोई भी देख सकता है. पढ़ने की कोई फीस नहीं है, फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट. अभी जो कोर्सेज अवेलेबल है, यानी हमने बताया INI, स्वयं पे जाइए और क्लिक करेंगे तो सामने NPTEL और बहुत सारा लिखा हुआ, उसमें INI वाला क्लिक करेंगे तो AMU और BHU के कोर्सेज दिखेंगे. वहां अभी रजिस्ट्रेशन चल रहा है. तो अगर कोई ऐसा कोर्स है जो आप पढ़ाते हैं, या आपका कोई स्टूडेंट, आपके बच्चे, आपके फैमिली में कोई चाहता है कि उसको सपोर्ट मिल जाए, क्योंकि बहुत सारे डिग्री कॉलेजेस में उन सब्जेक्ट को पढ़ाने के टीचर्स नहीं अवेलेबल है ना. आप बॉटनी ही पढ़ाते हो तो बॉटनी के सारे पेपर थोड़ी पढ़ा पाओगे, 2 3 4 पेपर पढ़ा सकते हैं ना. तो वो वाली एक्सपर्टीज अगर नहीं है बॉटनी की, मैंने प्लांट फिजियोलॉजी पढ़ाना है और आपके यहाँ कोई एक्सपर्ट नहीं है पढ़ाने वाला, तो अगर वो है अवेलेबल, वहां अगर अवेलेबल है तो आप उनसे कहिए अपने स्टूडेंट को कि वहां रजिस्ट्रेशन कराएं, और रजिस्ट्रेशन करा करके अपना पढ़ लें, कम से कम इतना तो काम कर लें, तो उससे ज्ञान मिल जाएगा. एग्जामिनेशन आपके मोड में दें, या वो एग्जामिनेशन, यानी हमारे यहाँ तो विश्वविद्यालय में यानी वो ऑर्डिनेंस बन गया स्वयं से रिलेटेड कोर्स करने का, और हम लोगों ने यानी इम्प्लीमेंट कर दिया है उसे. तो वो वहां से एक बार एग्जाम दे करके अगर पास होके आएगा तो उसका सर्टिफिकेट जो स्वयं वो वही डिजी लॉकर या उसके थ्रू अवेलेबल होगा, वो यहाँ उनके रिपोर्ट कार्ड में रिफ्लेक्ट हो जाएगा.
जी सर, थैंक यू सर.
एनीवन एल्स? कोई सवाल? प्लीज डोंट हेजिटेट. कोई भी सवाल हो तो कीजिए. हमने आपसे इतनी सारी बातें की. We are all teachers, you know. You're not a student. I don't treat you as a student. I'm your colleague, and whatever knowledge that I have, I'm sharing with you. And I would love to share. And if some of you can, share some knowledge with me, I'll be more than happy.
Sir, that's Dr. Priyanka Gai this side.
Ji, Priyanka Gai ji, I can
Sir.
listen.
Yes. Sir, actually, I am a professor of law, and in our college, NPTEL has been made mandatory for the students for each semester. However, it has not been
NPTEL?
mapped. Yes,
ma'am,
sir.
just a minute. NPTEL or SWAYAM?
Swayam, sir.
That is
Yes,
important.
sir.
So that is
Yes,
what
sir.
I said. In many of the universities, ordinances are in place, right?
Yes,
हम
sir.
कोई भी कोर्स चलाते हैं तो उसके ऑर्डिनेंस होते हैं ना, BA,
जी, sir.
BSc, BCom, ग्रेजुएशन का, मास्टर का. If ordinance are in place, you can ask your student to take courses
sir.
from SWAYAM platform if those courses are available, so that at
Yes,
least
sir.
they can learn it, and they
And
can encourage them to give examination which is arranged by NTA, National
sir.
Testing Agency.
Yes, sir.
Although in recent times it has created some bad name for itself. नीट वीट का इशू लेके काफी कुछ हुआ है, बट जेन्युइनली यानी वही एजेंसी है और वही ये काम कराती है. जो कमियां है वो पूरा कर लेंगे. लेकिन you can always if ordinance is in place, ask your student.
Sure, sir.
अभी से जब वो करेंगे ना तभी उनको प्रैक्टिस, अच्छा आपको भी अच्छा लगेगा, उन्हें भी, लड़कों को भी अल्टरनेटिव मिल जाएगा. एंड सपोज some course that you are teaching and you want your students to enrich them, so recommend them that course so that they may become familiar with that kind of environment. That is very important. It is our responsibility.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Priyanka. Anyone else?
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? Please
जो आपने
don't
बताया,
hesitate. I
हेलो
think it is Ritesh Prasad Tamta ji. Where are you
जी
from,
सर.
Ritesh ji? आप कहाँ
सर
से
जो
हैं?
सर मैं अल्मोड़ा जिले से हूँ.
अल्मोड़ा से हैं जी. आपका
जी
सवाल
जी
बताइए.
सर मैं कह रहा था, जो आप कह रहे हैं रजिस्ट्रेशन करना मूक्स में, स्वयं में, तो उसका रजिस्ट्रेशन फीस पड़ेगी अदर यूनिवर्सिटी के बच्चे होंगे जो?
पढ़ने के लिए फ्री है, एग्जामिनेशन के लिए सिर्फ 750 रुपए
जी जी
जमा करने पड़ेंगे, तब आप परीक्षा दे सकते हैं, है ना. लेकिन
जी
आपकी यूनिवर्सिटी में अगर स्वयं से रिलेटेड ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन का स्वयं से रिलेटेड ऑर्डिनेंस बन चुका है, तो स्वयं प्लेटफॉर्म पे NEP 2020 में 20 से 40% कोर्सेज करना, 20% मिनिमम है, 40% तक जा सकते हैं. और मैं आपको आज की डेट में कह रहा हूं कि आने वाले समय में बाय द एंड ऑफ 2030 ये 80% तक जाएगा, क्योंकि ये संभव नहीं है. ज्यादातर स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटीज और कॉलेजेस में कई जगह यानी अपॉइंटमेंट्स नहीं है, बहुत कम स्टाफ है. कैसे संभव है बच्चों के लिए? तो उनके लिए बहुत अच्छा ऑल्टरनेटिव है कि वो स्वयं के प्लेटफॉर्म से करके आए, और आप उनको, यानी अगर आपके यहाँ लेबोरेटरी वाले पार्ट है तो लेबोरेटरी वाला पार्ट अच्छे से करवा दीजिए, थ्योरी वाला पार्ट वो स्वयं से करके आ जाए. ये एक अच्छा ऑल्टरनेटिव होगा आने वाले समय में स्टूडेंट्स के लिए.
जी सर जी, धन्यवाद सर.
थैंक यू. रितेश जी, एनीबडी एल्स? So with this, if you have any question, I have 30 more seconds. Okay. So can I take your leave? And I thank you all for being so patient. And I hope that what we learned, you will definitely try to search those things on the net, and in the next lecture will be more interactive. I hope so.
Thank you, sir.
So nice of you, everybody. Thank you so very much.
थैंक यू सर.
Thank you, sir.